It was December 13th. It was a windy day. As I walked up to my friend's apartment, I thought about how slow the day was going by, and why black cats are the ones considered bad luck. I always thought that was a little racist. I tried hard to rationalize it in my mind, but I couldn't. When I got inside, I ran into another big problem. I wasn't sure whether to ring the buzzer or to knock. I was worried I would wake someone up if I rang the buzzer. Then I remembered it was only 3 in the afternoon, so I decided it would be safe to ring after all. I was still worried. I waited. I thought about how I worried too much. Luckily, I noticed a note that took my mind off of the worrying. The purple ink looked really nice, especially against the white paper. It was an underrated combination, I thought. I fantasized that purple cats were the ones associated with bad luck. No one would be offended then. Maybe Barney the dinosaur, but I'm pretty sure Barney was a child molester anyway. My friend opened the door. He told me I woke up his mom. I said sorry. He said, "What's up?" I responded with a "How's it going?" Of course, neither of us answered. I took a step inside. We walked up the stairs. And walked. 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 He forgot to tell me he lived at the top. When we finally got inside, I noticed there was a slice of pizza stuck to the ceiling. I pretended not to notice. My friend offered me a drink. I said water would be fine, even though I wasn't thirsty. While he left for the kitchen, his mother walked into the living room. I waved and said hi. She told me I woke her up. I said sorry. I waited for her to tell me that it was okay, but she never did. I waited. I ate my nails, even though I wasn't hungry. My friend came back. He had a bottle of beer in one hand and a glass of water in the other, even though I wasn't thirsty. His mother asked him why he was drinking so early in the day. He responded by taking a sip. She responded by taking the wine bottle off the table and leaving for her room. I responded by not responding. We watched a comedy for the next 2 hours. My friend had already seen it 3 times that week, and he loved it more and more each time, he said. He looked right at me during all the funny parts to catch my reaction. Even if the movie was funny, I was too focused on trying to look amused to actually appreciate the jokes. I pretended to laugh the whole time. At one point, I checked my phone to check the time. I somehow forgot I had a watch right there on my wrist. My friend caught me. He watched me with suspicion for the rest of the movie. I watched the movie. When the movie ended, I thanked him. I said I'd better get home for dinner. He asked me if I wanted to stay and eat there. I said I didn't want to be a burden. He said I was the only thing in the house that wasn't a burden. He asked me again if I wanted to stay and eat there. I said that'd be great, even though it wasn't. He asked me what I wanted to eat. I said whatever they had, but they had nothing. He asked me if I wanted to pick up pizza with him. I said yes, even though I didn't. It was a quiet ride. It was a windy day. I wanted to ask him how he'd been, but I already knew the answer. I asked him anyway. I thought he was going to say nothing, but then he heard me. He said nothing. I waited for him to ask me the same thing, but he never did. I was glad. I would have had nothing to say. I studied the menu. There were burgers and pizza and salads pizza, and other things I didn't want to order. The cashier studied me. I was worried. I could tell he wanted me to hurry up, so I went ahead and ordered something I didn't want. It was a windy day. It was a snowy night. I grabbed the pizza, even though I wasn't hungry. I turned to face him, but he didn't move. His wallet had nothing, his fridge had nothing. He didn't ask for anything, but I knew what he wanted. I told him to hold on a second. I carried the pizza I didn't want outside and looked around for an ATM. Luckily, there was one right across the street. I could have run, but I didn't. Time slowed down. I wondered how my life had gone by so fast, and if it had really even gone by at all. I wondered why I spent my last hours on Earth watching a funny movie that didn't make me laugh. I wondered why I ordered a pizza I didn't want to eat as my last meal. I wondered why I never bought that plane ticket when I clearly had the money. I wondered why I never talked to that girl I sat next to every single day. I wondered why I hadn't called my mother in over 2 weeks when all she wanted to tell me was that she loved me. I wondered why it took me my whole life to have these thoughts. He asked me for his money one last time, but all I gave him was a thank you, and I was never robbed again.